Zlatan Ibrahimovic, arguably the best player in the modern era to never win the Champions League. Well, today we put that right. Welcome along, gang. Welcome back. It's another Football Manager 2023 experiment, and Zlatan is the focal point today. He's back at Malmo. He's 15. We've removed his international caps and goals. We've removed his career history using the pre-game editor, and he is a much younger player. Now, what we've done is we've gone through his attributes. Now I've left his potential ability where it was at 186, but I've moved his current ability down to 100. I think he's about 148 when you start the save game. So yeah, his hidden attributes are as they were, and this is the attribute breakdown I've decided to give him by bringing some of his attributes back. Some of the ones that are higher, flair, first touch, they were 20s to begin with. Of course, I'm trying to manipulate the attributes to get them to 20s, but there's no science behind it, so it is what it is. Natural fitness is the only thing we left at 20 because, of course, still going at 41, or just retired, as he just has in real life. That's what I thought would be appropriate. So, without further ado, we are going to go through the career of Zlatan and see, can he finally get his hands on that Champions League? So, the first year he'll be at Malmo. He's 15 years old. I expect him to still be here, but we're going to come back in a year. Because of course the Swedish league the timings are a bit different, so we're going to go through 1 year and see where we're at. Still there, wanted by PSG, who he played for in real life, Bayern Munich, who he did not play for in real life. In his first season, he scored no goals for Malmo, but he got 8 appearances, 7 of those from the bench. And in terms of this season, he's played 4 times, all from the bench. He's not playing a lot, yet PSG and Bayern Munich both want him. Now that's probably because he's still got a pretty high reputation. I forgot to change his reputation, but that's fine. We want him to have the reputation. And look, his contract expires in October. So in 1 year's time, I expect him to have left Bayern Munich. He went to Bayern Munich and he's 133 in terms of his current ability. He's been capped twice for this Swedish national team. He's been playing for Bayern Munich too, scoring 12 goals in 36 appearances, and he's really rounding out into being quite the player. £675,000 he moved for, and most of his games for Bayern Munich too were starts. Lovely stuff. Well, and he's now at one of Europe's elite clubs. I hope he does move like he did in real life and does go around the countries. I'd be annoyed if he stays at Bayern for his whole career. But if he does, he does. Let's hope he wins the Champions League while he's here. In terms of the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich have won it twice in a row to start off this save game. And they're in the final of the Champions League against Arsenal. I don't think they'll be playing Zlatan, though. I don't think he'll be making his debut. Allegri's been sacked by Juventus, apparently. Well, this game screen really wants me to know that. Right, 1 more year. And he's asking to leave because he wants a new contract. He's 18 years old, 150 current ability. Better than where he is at the start of the game. Although some of his determination's dropped. His flair and first touch, I think they've gone up from 17 to 18. So they've not really kicked on as much. But he's rounding out to be quite the player. 15.5 grand a week. Of course, that's not enough for a player of Zlatan's caliber. 6.6 to £20 million is his value. 18 years old, 180 odd potential ability. Bloody hell. You would be loving that, wouldn't you? He's played 3 times for the Bayern Munich first team, but he's mainly been playing for Bayern Munich too. Did Bayern Munich win the Champions League against Arsenal? They did not. Arsenal beat them. And we got the final here. Arsenal looking for back-to-back. Jorginho with the goal. And of course, Zlatan did not play. Of course he didn't. I mean, in terms of the Bundesliga, Bayern have won it again. However, he's only played a couple of times, and mostly from the bench, so he's not going to have won a league title. And he's asking to leave. Will he go before we come back in 1 more year's time in 2026? Still at Bayern Munich. Wanted by Chelsea. Unhappy about failing to win a domestic cup. I've got to say, Zlatan, if you've not won the cup, you're part of that. He's on 165 grand a week. He's now got a bit of value behind him. And look at that. Rounding out very nicely. He's actually broken into the first team. 8 goals in 20 games. Only 6 of those are starts. Let it be known. let it be known he's won the Bundesliga, but he's not happy apparently that the club have failed to win a domestic cup. Man City won the Champions League in 24-25, and in 25-26 it was Real Madrid beating PSG with a couple of players that are actually already there. Ansu Fati has moved to PSG in this universe for £169 million. Big money move. This is clearly one of the iterations where Ansu Fati becomes a bit of a superstar. I've seen simulations and save games where he's not reached the dizzy heights of the 180s. He's been rocking around in like the mid 160s, which is good, but you expect more. So he's wanted by Chelsea, and he's not happy. He's not happy. Still no Champions League, but he has got himself a domestic German league to his name now. If we look at his Swedish record, 14 caps and 5 goals, probably not enough for Sweden to have done anything, and they haven't. Lost in the quarter-final of the World Cup. In terms of the World Cup, it was Spain who won it in 2022. Germany won the Euros. Luis Enrique's been sacked by United, apparently, finishing 9th. So he's unhappy, and he's wanted. Will he be at Chelsea when we come back? Let's find out. He has. He's moved to Chelsea for 143 million bloody pounds. What an absolute fee. Look at the profit Bayern have made. They bought him in 23-24, and 3 years later, potential including add-ons is 143 million. For Chelsea, he's scored 14 in 28 with 7 assists. He's done well, no player of the matches at all. 16 games in the Champions League. That bodes well. Have Chelsea managed to do something? Well, in terms of the Premier League, they finished 4th, getting Champions League football. Oh, and Chelsea were beaten in the final. They were beaten in the final. And it was his former Bayern teammate, Jamal Musiala, who's gone to Man City for 194 million in January. Season just gone. Bayern Munich transfers out Zlatan to Chelsea. Kingsley Coman to Chelsea as well. Malacia to Al Nassr. Arijon Ibrahimovic. Who's he? Looks like a real person. They've spent as well 225 million. And yeah, the season before, of course, 275 million pounds they got in. Jamal Musiala accounted for 194 million of that. Well, 151 actually, because it's potential. Well, there we go then. So he's become a runner-up in the Champions League, and he's not won any trophy at Chelsea. Well, he's at 179 out of 186. He's very close to his potential. And there he is looking at him. So we're going to jump through. I'm going to have 3 more years now. I think he's going to stay at Chelsea until 2030 at the very least. Let's go to 2030. He is still at Chelsea at 186. He's wanted by Manchester City. And in terms of the Premier League, well, he's become a Premier League winner. This season he was 3rd, but the previous season they won it on 95 points. The season before that, down in 4th. He's scoring okay amounts. I wouldn't say he's setting the world on fire. He's yet to hit 20 goals. And he's not getting loads of assists, but hey, they won the league this season, so he was obviously doing something right. And he has. He's been in the Champions League final for the last 3 years in a row. The Champions League final now is not him. 28. They beat Arsenal in the 2028 final 3-1 after extra time. Did he play? We're not sure. They lost on penalties to Liverpool, where he got a 6.4. But he did win the Champions League. They've won the FA Cup in 2029, Premier League, the Champions League in 2028, the Carabao Cup. He's done the whole 9 yards in England, and he's still only 23 years old. Let's jump on then to 2035. Still at Chelsea in 2035. 103 caps for Sweden, 77 goals. We'll have to check in on Sweden in a mo. His goal-scoring record for Sweden far outweighs his goal-scoring record for Chelsea, except here, in the 2032-33 season, he did get 25 goals. I wonder, 17 games in the Champions League as well. Have they done it again? Let's see. We're going to look at the Premier League first, and we've just jumped through 5 years. 4 of them are wins for Chelsea. Only the season where we got 25 goals did they not win the league. They came second. Man City won it that season. Did he get the Golden Boot? Top goal scorer? He did on 25 goals. The 4 times Premier League winners, and they've won 2 more Champions Leagues. They've also lost in the 2030-31 final, once again losing to Liverpool. They lost to Liverpool again on penalties. Following year, beat Bayern. Zlatan against his former club, beating Bayern. Right, that was in the 21-32 season. And then he beat Leipzig the following year. Right. He scored. He opened the scoring against Bayern Munich, his former club. And he scored the following year as well. Back-to-back wins in the Champions League. Back-to-back goals in the final. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, the big man himself, the Chuck Norris of football, Zlatan. Not only has he won 3 Champions League, he's scored in 2 finals and been unfortunate not to win some others. So he's done it. He's completed football. But how's Sweden been going on? Quarter-final, not really done much. Oh, that was in real life, sorry, in 2018. Sweden have actually been in the World Cup every season. They're only 2030 and 34. The Euros. Got to the quarter-final, losing to Holland. So yeah, not really done much. 8th final. Last 16, isn't it? Who calls it the 8th final? FM. Come on. So, without just waffling on and rumbling on, we're going to go through to the end of the simulation, which is 2045. He'll be 38. Will he have retired by then? I don't know. That's as far as I've gone. Will he still be at Chelsea? He's gone. Right. He saw his career out at Chelsea. He's retiring at 37 years old. He carried on for another 4 years in real life. His physicals have fallen off a cliff. 114 caps, 88 goals for Sweden. So he mustn't have played on for Sweden for too much longer. In terms of Chelsea, his goal-scoring prowess did fall off the face of the earth in these last few seasons. Just making it into double figures, really. You got a 22 here in 38-39. But we've got 9 years to catch up on, sorry. Premier League, well, the last time we were here was the last time Chelsea won it. They've not won it in 9 years. Nor have they won another Champions League. Tottenham? Who put 50p in Tottenham? 6 Premier Leagues, 6 Champions Leagues. Matthias Almeida. Always the kind of manager who goes to a club and does very well on these games. There you go. So he's won Champions Leagues, he's won Premier Leagues, but they've not won a lot in a long time. Have they won some Carabao Cups and FA Cups? Just to sort of round it off. 2039-40, they won the FA Cup. Zlatan's won that. And the Carabao Cup 33-34, so not really won anything there. However, did come run up to Liverpool in 38-39. Has he won football's biggest prize? Football's biggest individual prize, that is, the Ballon d'Or. He has not won Footballer of the Year. In terms of the Golden Ball, he's also not managed to win the Golden Ball. Unfortunate Zlatan. He did win World Player of the Year in 2032. Not sure what that is. I mean, is that Ballon d'Or? Is it? It looks a bit like it. I thought that was the Golden Ball. I mean, a lot of the past winners are the same. So he has won something. The World Player of the Year. We'll take it. He won it in 2032. 28 goals in 56 games. A goal every other game. Kai Havertz coming in runner-up that season as well. Obviously, the season Chelsea did win the Champions League, I think. The fair play. Well, there we go, that gang. That's the end of this. Congratulations, Zlatan. You've finally won the Champions League, courtesy of yours truly. You can thank me later. If you've got any other suggestions of players you'd like us to do this with, let me know in the comments. Or any other ideas at all. Again, comments. You know what to do. Take good care of yourselves, gang. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you soon.